Hello, AJ76 Ian here. Welcome to AOR Racing. This is Tier F8, the final two rounds of F1 2017, the United States Grand Prix from Austin. As you can see, it's raining. We're starting fourth, which sounds great, but actually we were the slowest of the four guys that managed to time our pit stops in the wet-dry qualifying session, so we were the last qualifiers to run on the dry tyres at the end of the session. But nevertheless, we shouldn't poo-poo that too much. At least we're starting towards the front, and our start's been okay. Really heavy wet conditions. I crashed in the rain here last year in the last season, so I wasn't too pleased when I saw it was the full wet conditions. Intermediate's not so bad, but on the full wets I think I'm going to struggle. But actually it's been kept fairly clean. I run really wide there. Still in fourth place though. Not expected to hold on to this, but hopeful that I can maybe finish the race reasonably in the points. You can see there's only 12 guys actually taking part in this race today. So I've done a few laps, I think, of practice in the wet leading up to this race, so not really very experienced in these conditions. Up the inside goes Mr. Robin. Fair enough, that's a good move. I probably look like a mobile chicane to all these guys behind. We've got Mehdi now in the Sauber close up behind. We actually try and get back in the slipstream of Mr. Robin and think about going down the inside, but it's so difficult to know on the first lap where to brake, and I kind of make the move and I slide, and yeah, sorry to Mr. Robin there, that wasn't overly impressive. We managed to gain the spot, but not for long. He goes round on our inside, so at least we got stuck in for once, down to 5th place. But we've got Bronick now, who's a much quicker driver than us in the Sauber, and Mehdi, the two Saubers battling hard, trying to come up our inside and do a Verstappen from last year. Can't quite manage it, so pretty pleased with the first lap in 5th. Difficult left-hander here, quite easy to run wide. I didn't really hit the apex too well there. Don't want to take too much curb in these conditions, as a little bit late comes Mehdi, just kind of nursed me off the way a little bit. So I'm down to 6th at the end of lap 1. So coming up to the first turn on lap 2, we know that Bronick's there, so we go to the inside to defend. And Bronick gets a hugely better exit from us. Sorry, not the two Saubers I said earlier. Bronick's obviously in the Toro Rosso. Fast forward later on through lap 2, we're down 7th, and we've got really quick guys behind us. Fernando and Noodle Dougal, our teammate. Fernando goes down the inside. We know that Stu, our teammate Noodle Dougal, is there somewhere, so we give him plenty of room. Then we have a bit of a drag race with him. Mercedes side by side. Wasn't really seriously trying to battle him. I was going to give him the position anyway, as he's fighting for a good position in the championship. And we continue to plunge down, so now we're down in 9th. Now lap 7, and look, on the outside there was Lamaro, who's had problems. And we've gained a spot to 8th, and two guys in front are battling furiously, including our teammate Noodle Dougal in 7th. And Mr. Robin comes into the pits, and we're up to 8th. Okay, lap 8, and our engineers advise us we should be coming in for the intermediate tyres, which I was actually quite pleased with. But as you can see, we've double stacking there behind Noodle Dougal, which I knew was going to happen, but I was prepared to lose a couple of seconds, because I thought if this is the sweet spot and the correct lap to pit, then it's worth losing 5 or 6 seconds for that. So away we go on the intermediates, and we're going to rejoin in 7th. So I was quite optimistic about how we would go, at least be able to hold maybe a top 8 position, but as you can see, I'm not sure it is quite right for intermediates, or it's just my lack of ability. But I've done a really poor spin through the fast sweeping turns at the start of the lap. Have to do a reverse, and then 2 corners later I'm out. So for the 2nd season running, I've crashed in the rain in America, so that's not particularly satisfying. The winner of the race was Seppi DM from Vuanotto, and Noodle Dougal was in 3rd place, our teammate. So again, another DNF. We've had a few too many of them this season. Let's see how we do in the last race in Brazil. So we've qualified at uninspiring 10th place, so we were only 2.5 tenths off, I think, 6th place. So very tight in this relatively short lap at Interlagos. You can see the sun is out, a few clouds in the sky. But we're going to try and make a good start from 10th. Only 11 drivers in this race today, unfortunately, for the last race of this shortened second season of F1 2017. 5 lights ready to go on. We're starting on the super soft tyres. And we're off, and we get a much better start than Daniel UK. We're up alongside him already. We're up to 9th. Mr. Robin and Mehdi on the inside. So easy for there to be contact here. I was quite pleased we got through this bit cleanly. Mehdi runs wide though, goes into us, which forces us into Danio. And racing incident. No one particular fault there, I think. Mehdi got a bit wide, and then it was obviously uncontrollable for him, but really annoying. And we're now dead last by several seconds. Lap 3. Okay, so we're trying to keep our interest going. Several seconds behind the guy in 10th. And fairly confident about our pace on these super softs. But I do something inexplicable here. I'm trying to change... I don't know what I'm trying to change. I can't even remember. I was trying to change a setting of some sort to do with the pit stop. And I crash. And it probably looked deliberate because I just seemed to go straight on. But I was literally just looking at the settings and forgot there was another kink. Really appalling driving. So I'm just thankful I didn't take anyone else out. So an unsatisfactory end to what's been a really poor season after my consistency of the first season in F1 2017. I got really what I deserved in the second season. I didn't put in the hours. Got a bit disillusioned at time with some of the contact that I kind of got involved with. Didn't put in the practice, and if you don't do that, you're not really going to get anywhere. So really disappointing. Finished the championship in 13th place, I believe, out of the 16 drivers on 33 points. Best result was the 6th place in Belgium. Had just look at this, 5 DNFs or DNSs or DSQs. It's 5 races where I basically crashed or didn't take part. Champion deservedly on 287 points was Fornato, followed by his Finnish teammate Seppi Dien. Stu, my teammate, unlucky to end up being 4th, as he looked like he was going to get a top 3 for a while. So hope for better next year on F1 2018. I'm certainly going to put in the hours and try and get myself a little bit more competitive, even if it is in the bottom tier.